I also think we got enough black families that's doing it right to get inspiration from this to be able to feel like we can do it. Like even the people that are single, and like I said to the guys earlier, the women who come in, and I could pose the same thing to you, the women who come into the manosphere to sit with us year in year out. We giving them the blueprint. We giving them everything we know men want. But these women can still show up without a man, struggling to get a man. And is that
A lot of
is that their inability to take the lessons that we're giving them, or is it the man? There ain't no man out there.
It's a
so
multitude of issues.
yeah.
It's not you can't just point to one thing. It's a lot of things that are going wrong,
Combination.
and we can have
Well,
these
I
we can
thought we
have these
covered them.
conversations with people, but you know how much reversing you have to do from childhood trauma and everything else, and horrible experiences that they've had as an adult with other men, and trust issues and everything else they're going through, and not knowing how to be around men, not knowing what men's expectations are. And it's almost like anything else, right? So let's just say you could watch fights all day, right? It don't mean you could get out there and do it. You got to be in shape. You got to be ready to put in the work. And a lot of people, like Kasey said earlier, are not ready to put in that work. That's a tough reality for a lot of people. It's a hard pill to swallow to know you got to get out there. We all know. Kasey been giving them the blueprint all day. Nothing. It's the same thing. You could tell them till you blue in the face. And that's all you can do, because there are going to be some people who it's not going to fall on deaf ears. You work on those. You control what you can control. You put the word out, right? Every minister that's out here preaching, they know there's some sinners they never go get to, but that never makes them stop. You put out what you know you're supposed to put out, and the people who need to hear it will hear it, and some people just won't. And we just got to understand that we can't save everybody. We'll save as many as we can, right? We'll direct and guide and pour into as many people who are willing to listen to us, but it's not going to
So
work for everybody.
So y'all know y'all always have the conversation of that women don't see men. Majority of women don't see the majority of men on a daily basis. That is the problem, because a lot of women that desire husbands are all looking at the same 20% of man. And y'all say that, y'all talk about that all the time. So most women, and this is what I wanted to kind of tie into to Die, and what I wanted to say to you, Die, is that most women, if their husband was dropped right in front of them, they wouldn't even see him, because he's not in the depiction of what they think their husband is supposed to be in their head. He's not fitting this mold of this dream guy that they envision on television or social media. He's not this overly drawn out romantic, I want to make you my Cinderella type man. And they go, that's not my husband. That's not my husband. I prayed for this type of guy to be this, that, this. Not only just the physical attributes, but also the emotional attributes, which a lot of women misgender attributes for men. They actually want men to act like women, when a lot of those attributes are things that are with innately in women, but they think their husband should present in this way, which is actually in a feminine way. But then they want to call men women. They call men who are more attached to their emotions sassy on this podcast a lot of times, on these panels and within the manosphere. But they just, when a man who exudes masculinity, they don't even see the man. He's not their dream Prince Charming as they desire, and they don't realize that man is exactly who God has intended for you to stand with through life, who will protect you, love you, honor you. But he doesn't look the way you think he should look, and he doesn't act the way you think he should look. So that's why Darwin was trying to like really, y'all were missing each other, and you weren't really listening to his point, is saying that God, you have to be able to recognize that it's not going to fit into your perfect, a man's not going to fit into your perfect box. You're designed for the man. It's not vice versa. It's not, oh, God's gonna send me a man that's gonna fit my purpose and my life. That's not biblical. That's actually incorrect. You're supposed to fit into the man's life. That's where the whole term the rib. If you're his rib, you're fitting into him. You're his helpmeet. So that you got to change your mindset. You got to change your mindset, and you got to realize that the man that God sends you, most women have met their husband and he's gone. I believe that wholeheartedly. I know a few people from college and after college that had amazing, a perfect couple, but the woman couldn't get out. She couldn't see it. That virtuous woman, she was not the virtuous woman, because a virtuous woman can realize what's in front of her when it's in front of her, and also be quiet and be silent and listen and say, okay, God, how do I align myself to make sure I see what's in front? Ooh, this looks like the stuff that I'm supposed to be looking at. Let me be quiet. Let me make sure I'm in proper alignment with you and with this man, not a man being in alignment with you. It doesn't work like that.
But that's what I said. I think y'all just took it a completely different way. But that's
no, exactly Dad, you kept talking about a man aligning with your purpose.
Because if I'm walking in God's purpose, if I'm walking the path that God has set for me, I thought my path was going to be completely different than the path that I'm currently walking now. I didn't think my path was going to be this path. I thought my path was going to be graduate high school at 16, become an accountant, do this, and that. No, God said, I have something deeper for you. I need you to gain a better understanding of a certain type of people so you can come back and help these people. So when I said when he comes into my life, he's going to understand the path that God has set for me. And he's going to be like, I can guide her.
But that could be just a season though, Di.
And that's fine.
We have seasons. Yeah, we have seasons. We have seasons in life. So if you're closing yourself, you're like, oh, God already told me what my life is. Either you get with it or that you can't.
I don't feel like that though.
That's not a. You just said that God is already. Yeah, you just said God has already showed me what my path is. So if he don't, that you're already, you don't have an open heart or open spirit to receive. No, so Di, are you still in your 20s?
No, I'm 33.
Okay, I'm older than you. Mm-hmm. And I've lived 10 lives, 10 different lives. Mm-hmm. I've done so many, I've been in so many different directions, and I've been blessed to have so many different experiences. But the thing about me is I've always had this as my spirit. God is leading me. Before I met my husband, God is leading me. And I'm never said, this is what I'm doing now. I'm doing this for the rest of my life. No, I don't know that.
Yeah, that's not realistic. That's not realistic.
It's not realistic. So you can't say this is what my path is for my life, and this is what it's going to be, and a man has to come into that path.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. When he comes in, he's going to come in when he's supposed to come in. He's going to come in when I'm healed. He's going to come in when I'm able to identify
you don't know,
that.
You don't know that God didn't give you a timeline. But listen, that's not biblical. God don't give you a timeline and say, when you are at this point in your life, you will then now receive.
If I'm not healed, he's going to be able to get through to me. That man's going to be able to communicate with me. He's going to teach me things about stuff.